What you doing?
Well, I'm going to continue making that claw game.
Okay. I'll be using this to watch your videos.
And you do that. You take that TV and watch most of these videos because... hello everybody, this is Blender Pretender and I'm posting for posterity for anybody that wants to watch. I'm working with Blender. This is going to be the third part, where I'm working on a modeling, and then now I want to give the materials for a claw game / machine. I'm not sure what the official name of these things are, but if I open the file here, I'm not going to save that file. I'm going to open that file that I've been working with. This is where I left off last time. I drew that bear and now it's on here as a texture. It's kind of big and there's more painting that I want to do. So today I want to dedicate some time to assign more materials, make it a little bit more colorful, and then that's going to give me an idea of what I want to paint on this side here, on this texture, other than this bear. So there's other stuff that needs to go on there. The name of the machine, a couple of labels here and there. And I plan to do that through texture painting. So before proceeding though, I'm going to go and say File, Save As. I'm just going to start creating a little history of my file here. So I'm going to call it number 202. It's the same date. I usually date them, but I'm going to call it 02. Creating a little history in case I do something that's terribly wrong. All right. So last video, I drew the bear and I created the UV map that I plan to use. Let me look at the UV map again. It's been a few hours. I took a few hours of a break today. It's the same. Let me get some of the stuff going here. So it's the same date that I'm working on after drawing this bear. But you can't work on the computer forever. You're gonna, get into trouble. You're gonna go crazy. So what am I looking at? I'm going to go look for in the UV editing just to get reminded of there you go. That's the UV. That's the UVs for this unwrapping, the unwrapping that I did. And so I moved them over just to finish the video. I did not want to be scaling the image and working with the mapping. So what I'm going to do now is select every one of these. Not every one. Let me deselect every other vertex that has been collapsed onto that one pixel there in the bottom corner, and I'm going to grab it and then center it back because I don't want it to and I'm going to center it too, just eyeball it and center it. So what this does is this creates the problem where the head's on top and so on, but I don't want the bear to be that big. I drew it that big so it has the detail, but now I just want it to be on a smaller corner here of the machine. So let me save this for a second here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something new. This will be new even to me. I set up the painter file that I was working to create the bear. I set it up so I can do 3D painting as well. So I'm going to try it right now, real time, actually try to produce something and see. Hopefully it doesn't go terribly wrong. All right, so File, Save. I already file. Well, first, what I'm going to do to this one is remove that material altogether because I'll be assigning a material on the other painter file. So File, Open, don't save, and I'm going to open the I'm going to go to my asset folder and find the template file that I have set up, open it again, File, Save As, go to the bear claw, and in the bear claw here, save it as on the painter. I'm going to save it. Oh, I forgot. Cancel that. file, quit. It's one of those things. I have to remember that I don't want to use that painter template with 290 because 290 has crashed in some cases when I've been painting. File, open. So I'm using a 283 file. Blender files, again. Okay. And then here I'm going to call it, I'm just going to call it, see if I can put something that I'll remember on object painter. Or maybe, yeah, object. I'll add a little 3D. So I'm going to be working on this in 3D. Hopefully not in both. It would be both combined. It's not completely 3D. So 283 object painter, Blender, save as, file, external data, and unpack them all. So let me just do the cleanup up here on my I'm working on a window here that's on the top screen. Okay. I am thinking that I may not want to do what I just did. Something that I did not think through is that I have two painter files and they're all both going to have the same texture directory. There's going to be some conflict or potential conflict, I think, when I'm doing that. But I'm just going to proceed. I'll figure out how to work with that, with that problem later on. So I'm looking at the files here. So what I've got is the files that I just unpacked. They're here, but these are the merge files that I created with the other painter file. So, all right. I don't know if that was audible to the recording here, but okay. Select all. Automatically pack it, and then back over here. Just get rid of it. All right. So it should be ready to go here. What I'm going to do is append or bring in the other object, and it should come in with no materials, hopefully. So I'm going to append not the temp, not the bear claw. I'm expecting to see, didn't I save a second one here? I may have saved it somewhere else. I may have saved that file somewhere else. So bear claw, I'm expecting to see here the, all right, cancel that, control save, file. Well, I don't need to exit this. I'm just going to toggle the window, minimize it. I can have the two blenders running at the same time. I just don't want to, but I can. So here's the file in 290 that I was working with. Window, toggle window. And so yes, it should have a little bit of the head up top rendered. Come on. So here, that's fine. So file, save as, and for whatever reason it's like archives. That archive there is a false start. I did a false start and then basically modeled a little bit of the bottom of the box here. Didn't really finish. So here's where I want to call it O2 save as. So it's wrong directory. So when I do a false start, it usually goes into like 5 minutes, and then basically have a catastrophic noise event or something like that. It happens sometimes. I will shut everything down because I'm trying to do it all in one take, like it's happening right now. And so this is not catastrophic, but sometimes you'll just have the door slam open or whatever, and things are said that you don't want. Rather than try to do back and go and edit, I'm not too far into the drawing. I'll just archive that and do another start if I'm not too far into it. And I wasn't, so that's why I have that file there, but it's confusing me, and I'm going to delete it right now. Matter of fact, just a minute. If bear claw, so I'll put it in. So since I'm doing recordings, that's where I have it. So there, delete. Yep, gone. So the only archives that I'm really keeping is these. Oh, you're not seeing that. Sorry. The only archive that I'm keeping is the history that I'm going to be working with. I can probably get rid of that temp file as well. So I'm going to take those. There's nothing that should be impeding me from doing that. Delete that. So I have the blend 02 file, and so like I was saying, this is where I save the other. I'm doing a little file cleanup here. Just bear with me. Delete. Okay, back. Got it. Yeah. So I don't think this is worth doing a retake. So okay, so this is a file that I'm working on right now. Now I can toggle Control Tab, maybe there. You're not seeing this, but I'm going to choose the painter. Nope. There it is, the painter. The painter program, so file append. And so there it is, the number 2. I'm going to choose through the objects. And I don't know that you have, Blender has these thumbnails, but I don't see what they are, but I know that it's this one. These are the junk objects that I used to construct that one, so I'm going to append it. So if I were to go into the object mode, there it is, and look in 3D, there it is. So it's another object. The plane that I normally paint on is this one down here, and then this is the object that I want to work with. I didn't pay close attention. What I'm going to do is on the scene collection here, I'm going to create a new collection. I'm going to call that 3D object. So the way I have it set up is I call this one object for bringing in text objects and so on, but I'm going to shove it in there. So work in this collection, and that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it was collection 6 that has this object here. That if I go to rendered, I wouldn't see much. Well, I see something. And that's because I did set at one point in time when I was working on the template, if I go to the world object, I did set myself up a HDRI for lighting. Then I have the background here. I'm going to change that background color to 1, see how that looks. To white, rather. And it's already a strength at 1. And then Shift F5. Get back over here. Okay, so that seems to work. Now it just looks flat white. Nothing that I can really paint with. I'm interested in painting on here. If I had kept it gray, I could probably distinguish maybe some of these corners. But, okay. So either way, whatever, even if my brush goes beyond the corners that I'm painting on, it will paint on that one singular pixel, so that if I ever am painting with a color that I overspill, it would just be changing the color of the entirety of the mesh outside of the limits of my painter. All right. So what am I going to do here? I need a camera here also. I'm going to Shift C to add the camera. And Shift Add. And I want to add another camera. Not the one that's already fixed there, because the one that's fixed, that's the one camera that's here in my file, I want it fixed because it's looking down at the canvas that I'm normally working on. So this second camera here is the one that's going to be the one that I want to work. So I'm going to hit Control 0, number 1, to make that the camera, 0 to get out, and now Control Alt 0 to bring that camera back to where I can see, see what I'm looking at. And if I do Shift tilde, I can move the camera around, and then use the WASD keys a little bit to move around. Let's say like right there. And here's what I'm going to try to do. Then I'm going to try to paint that bear or project that bear onto the texture that it has. Now that object itself does not want, I don't want it to have, right now it has a material. It did bring it in with a material even though I thought I erased it. That's okay, I just delete it. And what I really want is this one on here. That is the canvas material. So if I go back and select the canvas, I can turn the that bottom layer to gray, go back to the texture painting. So now I can paint on this material. This is a material that's going to be used to give it color. And here's what I was saying, is that I know, because of the way I unwrap this, that I have two planes, right, to paint on. Actually, this is the same plane projecting all the way through. So I only have to paint on one side and then this one over here. So if I wanted to paint here, go to the tools here and have a paint, choose the, let's say that one. White is fine, just so that we can see it for now. And let me, there. Let me make that visible. So here, for example, I'm painting past that corner. It probably will not get, you know what? It will not get to the, some of it is getting out there, somewhat. I'm not sure how it only depends if when I'm painting the brush would happen to project onto that one vertex that is the very bottom vertex. So I'm going to do Shift S because, so there, I am painting on layer 1. I don't want that. Control Z, all of these. That probably went too much. Well, that's fine. I'm going to choose that color there and then just paint it over. Q, save all images. So what I need is, and I'm going to go to layer 3 just in case I need a background layer. Actually, I'm going to go up to layer 5 in case I need several background layers. So what I need is the teddy bear to probably show, and I'm going to be sketching right now just very roughly. The teddy bear to be doing this. Somewhere like there. And I want it to say play and win. I'm going to play and win. And I want it to have some okay, so that's the limit right there. That's fine. There, play and win, something like that. In the background here, I may have what appear to be, you know, silhouettes of bears as far as you can see. So I'm going to get that. And maybe here put bear claw. Maybe the plain one can be smaller, bear claw can be bigger, and then the little silhouette of bears. So, okay. Now, I'm gonna have to be going back and forth. Yeah, if I get rid of the opacity completely, you only see the one. So that was layer 5. Maybe like right there, so I can see it a little bit. Bear claw. What I'm going to need is that bear, but smaller. So it's big already. Or here's the other one, is I'm going to take the camera. So those are the catastrophic events that I'm talking about. I hope that doesn't, nobody comes in here anymore. Okay, Control Save, Q save all images. All right. Control Alt 0. All right, here's the camera. Let me go 0 again. Shift tilde. I'm going to put the camera right around there and see how it goes. Control Save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the what I call the touch up, it's just an image viewer, and I'm going to image open, and it's not there, but there it is. Open the teddy bear. So the teddy bear PNG 01. So there's already one saved in here somewhere. It looks like, because it's 2, and so there's 2. So anything the one that says teddy bear, that's fine. So I'm going to go back to the painter, and here onto, I'm going to put it, that's going to be one of the very top layers. I'm going to put it onto layer 20. See how it works. From here, options, apply image, camera image, and as I hit that, I get to select there teddy bear. I'm going to go with the one that I already had loaded, and what it's doing is it's projecting onto the UV coordinate surface the teddy bear in a way that I think fits just fine, and it just basically it's a projection through the camera, and that worked fine. Now I got to do bear claw. So that's in layer 20. I'm going to go back down to layer 1, layer 2, really. And I'm going to play with the colors on layer 2. And then here I'm going to go with the draw hard and select. So I'm thinking I'm going to make a yellow. So I'm going to Control Save for now. Do I want a yellow? I think it says yellow or orange, so I'm going to go with an orangey color right there, but very saturated. And then just, let's see, and there, like that. Control Save. This should be represented on both sides since it's got the same mapping, only in the opposite. And I will have to change the mapping, mirror the mapping at one point in time so that it's not, so that the text come out right. And I'll do that later on. For now, I'm just going to focus on this side. So now I needed to say play and win. So Control Save. I'm going to hit 1, or first get out into the object mode, hit 1, go into the top view. So because this is the active camera, now I won't be able, this one is the active camera. I'll have to select the camera again over here. It's off, so I'll just select it and then just go Control 0. There it is. And then maybe turn it off again. I turn it off so I don't have to select it. So that's what I'm drawing. This one pixel over here is the one that keeps changing a very tiny bit while I'm painting, and I don't understand why that's doing that. So what I'm going to do while I'm here, I'm going to select the canvas, go to Texture Paint, and I'm going to turn it, the entirety right now as I'm seeing it, I'm going to turn it yellow. maybe very saturated yellow, and put a little dot right there. So that should be mapping right now onto every other aspect of the object that is not the squares that are in here. So, and I'll take a look at, see how that looks a little later. Control save. What do I need? I need text. So let me go object, and here I already C07 5 orthographic. So here I'm gonna add, I'm gonna add bear claw up the top. So shift add a text. This is gonna be a simple text, I think. Text. The text, I need to change them to center. I don't need to change them. I can just move them around, but I like to do that. That way it's centered text. Grab Y all the way up here, tab into the text, and go into the caps. Bear claw. Man, I hope they don't start making too much noise. Bear claw. And for the font, I'm just going to go with a bold like this one right here. That's an Arial. It's like, it looks like it's an Arial, but not quite. Maybe, how about this one? Well, let me see. Scroll real quick down to see if there's anything that would... I don't have many fonts. These are a little like italicized. These are good over here too. Oh, maybe these look more like game type of game. But these are a little bit tighter, so we'll go with that. Let's see what that does. The bear claw game. I like this one. Scale. Well, no, I don't like this one. I'm going to use file from current directory. How do you unpack this? Oh, how do you just go open? Can't you just hit open? I'm just gonna hit turn it off, and I wanted the one that is next to it, which is a little fatter. Oof, I didn't keep down the name. This one, I wanted this one. There, bear claw. Grab the Y. That's fine. That's how I like it. That's good. Let me turn it red. Make it goes with this bow. So for that one, I do have to give it a new material. Make sure that it's an emission, and the material will be red. Come down, make it a little darker, 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 darker. Right around there. Bear claw. Grab Y. Duplicate it over here, and I'll put play and win. Play and win with an exclamation point mark. For that one, I want them a little tighter, so on the fonts, I'm just going to adjust a little bit the line spacing. That much. I'm going to scale it down, rotate it, grab it, and then here I'm going to try to make it yellow just to see what it looks like by hitting that to make a new material, and then make this one yellow. Didn't work. So what I'm going to do is keep them red. Keep it red. I'll keep that yellow material because what I'm going to do is add a what do you call it? Like a little splashy thing. That splashy thing. A little we'll see right now. So cursor to selected. I just snapped the cursor to selected. Shift add a mesh. I'm going to add a circle. Let's add 32 is fine. It's out there somewhere. If I go into the wireframe, there it is. Tab in there. Scale it down. Right around there. Fill it in. Tab out. Select the letters. And I think I have them selected. Yes, control link materials. All right, select the letters again, and then make those back to the red. Now make sure that one's above the other. So I'm going to select the two letters and grab in the Z. And plain win. There, I think I got it. I've got the circle. I'm going to use the vertices there. I'm going to do select, checker deselect. There is a checker deselect somewhere, I think. That one, right? And then scale. So I'm making myself a little, what am I calling it? A star or something like that. Okay, select everything. Scale Y, maybe like that. And then rotate it. Play and win. Bear claw. So now I'm going to take both of these. They're a little small. Scale it up a little bit. That's okay if some of these corners come out. Grab. I'm going to take that bear claw and grab it and put it up higher. So that's clearly on top of the play and win if it were to be moved over. Control, save. Now I got to make sure to do some cleanup here. Take that text, shove it into the object one. Same. Both texts and then also the circle. That's just for the layering that I've set up. Turn them on. Not that one, but that one. Control save, play and win. Okay, that looks good. Looks like that works. Now, what I need to do is select the canvas, that one. Come on, go into texture painting. And in texture painting now I think I don't need the text that I put on that one already. So here I'm going to erase it or start working the way that I would like to work that. So in that's layer 5. Let me take the eraser. And erase everything. Q, save images. Control, save. Now, on layer number, so 3 gave that little dot right there. I'm going to keep that like that. And 4 gives is just a start. So I'm going to see then about, maybe I'm thinking I should have put that bear a little bit back more, but that's fine. Let me work with this while I have it right now. I'm going to try to give it look like there's a depth of all these bears in the background. I'm wondering what's the best way, because I can just fake it. I'm going to use this particular, drawing pen that I have, and then take that one and then just make it darker. So it's going to be darker in the background and then lighter as it gets to the foreground. And he's going to be sitting on top of them. So let's try to see how that works. That's so far in the background that you can't tell. is just tons and tons of cute little bears. Just use your imagination. For now, I cannot turn off the objects. All right, probably, I'm wondering if this is good. Control save, Q, save all images, control save. It may or may not be good. Let me get a little bit. Maybe desaturate it some because it's in the distance. There you go, a little less saturated. Even if it's not perfect. There. All right, now I'm going to go next layer, and there, maybe go up a little bit. I'm trying to figure out which way to go with this. I can't go more saturated. This is the most saturated over here. So I probably have to go here. On layer 5. The reason is for that. Layer 5 was the opacity turned down. So let me go again. S. Take that one. Oh. What I'm seeing there is the alpha. That little angle, that's what I was talking about earlier, that doesn't really seem to be very good with Blender, is the alpha at that point. So just have to deal with it. All right. Back to this. These are bigger circles because they're closer. The teddy bears are closer, that's why. It's an army of teddy bears. And then where am I going with this? Not very good for silhouettes, right? All right, got that right there. Q, save all images. I may need to bring them up. So that's layer 6. Maybe I can, use the opacities on each so that it doesn't look that odd. Control save. I may need to go up a little bit on that. And then lastly, what I'm going to do is control save is create a brush. And so this has been a while since I've done that, but I can do this. I'm going to choose, this one, I called it leaf stipple. And no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. So I either have to modify one of these brushes or look to see if I have one that works. I'm going to stick with the Draw Hard brush that I have, which is just simply as just a hard fall off. That's what that is, the hard. This option right here for fall off for the brush, everything else is. So what I'm going to do is create a new one, texture 3. So it's called texture 03, and I'm going to go to the texture tab over here. And then here I have texture 03, and I'm going to hit open, and I'm going to pick that one, open. So I'm going to use that teddy bear. The unfortunate thing is that I'm hoping that it will respect the transparency there. That's by checking this, I think. It respect the transparency, and it won't draw it. And if I choose stencil, I can move it around and put it where I want to. So I could have done this also without doing the projection the way I did with the camera. This would have been another way. So in other words, I can fix it by putting it here. I can do a double one, you know, one in the back if I want to. But what I'm going to do, and I believe it's shift. I'm holding shift and I'm using the right mouse button. And these are all over the background. So if I use control, I can rotate them. So I'm just going to put one there and draw it. Oops, maybe bring it back down to size, move it over, rotate it, or control to rotate it, and draw it. Rotate another one. I'm going to put this one upside down because they're all just in there. Actually, what I'm going to do now is go into the scale here. Offset in the size, I'm just going to do -1. Let's see what that does. There, backwards now. And rotate it over. Move it over here. Rotate it like this, I think. And just draw it there. Rotate another one over like that. And draw that one there. I am drawing, I didn't pay attention, I am drawing on that same layer. So, that's fine. That's fine. I can fix that. I didn't pay attention. I should have gone to layer 7, which has the full opacity. I didn't pay attention that I wasn't really. So rotate, working with that. There, rotate it. This is a fully drawn bear. And then do that, and so on, and so forth. Now here I can make them bigger, because they're getting closer in the foreground, right? There, like that. And then I'm going to go back and do it like that. Maybe like that a little bit. Now I'll make it bigger. And put one. I don't want to put his face right where the other guy's sitting, but maybe put it like that. There. And finally one here. And maybe rotate it all the way and just shove them backwards like that. The last one. Last one, I hope. Right there. Q, save all images. So he's on a world of teddy bears. As far as the eye can see. What I should have done is painted that yellow. If I go back to layer 6 is the one where I made a mistake. In layer 6, I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to get rid of that mask now. And I'll just fake it. Hopefully that doesn't come out too bad. If not, I'm going to have to do the teddy bears over again. Yeah, it doesn't look right. So I'm going to have to go back to layer 6, go back and pick the teddy bear texture. So I have it. There it is. And now, yeah, I can zoom in too, and that works. Since it's in the underlying layers, I can just do this. And it'll work. And then maybe one other one over here. I'm just covering the very obvious parts that I should have. All right. There we go. I'm going to shove another one back there. There. See how that looks. Q, save all images. All right. So now what I need is the text, though. I need the text to be on this. So Control Save. I can do one of two things. I can project it either way. I can project the text either way. But I think what I can do is turn on the objects, make sure everything is rendering. These should all render right. Get rid of that. Boom. So Control Save. I'm guessing that this should work. So let's see how it looks if I do a render. F12. Go. Nothing good rendered. Why not? All the images are saved. Every file is saved. Now the emitter is rendering. And these are objects. They should be rendering just fine. I'm selecting the camera. I believe that's the active camera, and I can check that by hitting, which one is it? Here, camera. Camera is the active camera. I'm going to hit F12 again, and then see if that. All right. So it should be rendering here. I wonder if I have a layer on that I'm not seeing. It would render what I see right here anyways. I'm going to turn off the grease pencil for render and only render what I see there. I'm wondering if Blender is getting confused with this other camera right over here. So even though I selected it already, and like I already selected that as the active camera, I wonder if Blender, for some reason, would be getting confused as to what camera to render through, because if it were rendering this through the other camera, that's this camera right over here. Okay, Control save, make sure everything is saved. I'm going to take that camera and delete it. Avoid all confusion. And there, they're all off. Okay. So there's the render again, and it still doesn't want to do it. Let me add a render layer. Input, render layer. Under the scene, and I'm just going to go. Yep, nope, it's telling me there's nothing there. No render, because there's no render output node. That's why it's not rendering. Okay. That's when you turn that on. Nope, still not doing it. So Shift add, output, a composite. So that doesn't do anything either. All right. This should be the same as this. Scene image. And I'm getting that. And everything is on for render over here. Grease pencil is on. I'm getting nothing because I have an object in the way. So what was happening is that I have this layer here, rendering. And so what I'm doing with the object, I'm not paying attention, but the object is actually occluding what I'm supposed to see over here. So that's what's happening. I didn't have to get rid of the camera, the other camera. It knew what it was rendering. It's just by the way I have it set up. The camera's above the top of the game itself, the object. So those are the things I just have to work out and learn how to manage better. So now I should be able to render these objects fine. Is it here? I'm looking for it. So I'm going to turn that back off. That way I can just deal with it. All right. So there's the image. Bear claw with a bunch of bears, and then that one bear that sticks out. He's not as dark as the other ones. It kind of makes him stick out, so I'm going to leave it like that. Unless it just doesn't work, I'll just add a big bear, the same color. Okay, Control save. Or rather, go to the touch-up viewer and go image, save as. I'm going to call it texture, save as, image, open the bear claw texture, and back in the painter, I need this little bear all the way down here. I'm going to put a layer 10 for now, so it's in layer 20. So since I'm in layer 10, I'm going to project from the camera layer 20. That degrades the image, by the way, when you do that, but I've done it before, and sometimes depending on what kind of quality you want to keep, it's not a big deal. So layer 20, I'm going to turn it off. It's still there, but I'm going to turn him off. And now, the reason I turned him off because I'm going to go one more over here and then go F12. This is just for visualization for me. Or no, I'm not going to. Here, I'm going to project on layer 15. I'm just giving myself some room for work. Apply camera. And it was called Bear Claw Texture. All right. Okay. So save all images, Control Save. What I'm going to do is go back to the object mode. And over here in the object mode, I will turn these back on. Or rather, I will 2, 3, 4, 6. And if I were to look at it, it's very interesting that this is not yellow the way I painted it. I was expecting to see this full thing yellow. But there's the side of the cart on this. I'm wondering if I want to have a little edge to show, because this is going to look like it's a sticker that is painted on that. And it's obviously gray up here because I still haven't put the text that I want over here. And the only thing that I want over here is just to say $1 to play. And this, I was expecting to see it all yellow, and it's not. The reason that it is not is a mystery to me right now. Hide the camera, meaning this, I painted this yellow, and here's what I'm guessing. It is interpolating that in this corner over here. I can already see here there's some overspill from the drawing when I drew over here. I don't have the tiling on, but that's probably because if you go into the texture paint, I probably left the bleeding on at one point in time. No, bleeding is at 0. So when it's projecting, when I'm drawing through here and projecting, this should be all gray. And they may have been projected, these colors, onto this. So it might be picking up some of that color right there. Little things to keep in mind. I'm going to pick this color and go back to the very third layer and then just put a little dot. I am on that layer and I am drawing, and I'm not seeing it because it's not on that layer anymore. It's on this layer. All right. Still doesn't look yellow. It looks a weird green, ugly green color. These colors look right, and this does not. Now I'm wondering why. So go back to 1 and 0. And there's a little bit. So next time I do that, I'm gonna make sure I put the text, all the vertices in the very center of the pixel, not at that edge. It might be picking up some stuff over here, interpolating some stuff. So in my template, I have created, oh, see, it's picking up the corner of that guy over there. And that's what that is. And so what I did is the template I created so you can have tiles and create tile images. So there, Q, save all images. So if I ever do that next time, I'll make sure that it's not right on that corner. All right. And there, go turn them back on, and then hit 6, and now it's yellow. Control save. It's a yellow machine, and now that poster is too far to the edges. I'm going to try to trim it here in a minute. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to the first layer there, and I'm going back to the layer that I'm working with, which is that 15, and maybe draw in here gray. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to draw a gray rectangle here. So for that, I'm going to choose this one, and then it's in the mix. It's just a square is what it is. And I'm going to hit the E, and I'm going to choose line, and here it's kind of big, but here, well, no, I want the gray, sorry. I want the gray here. I'm just going to eyeball it. Unfortunately, this does not have, oh, there, Alt constrains it. There. It's right, oh, because I moved it, I lost more or less the size of that, the size of the brush. The brush doesn't change with the size. There's options in Blender for do that, but I don't have that set in my template. So now I can see. Oh, I should have done a yellow. That's what I should have done. And that brings them in just a tiny bit. It gives you that one corner on the edge. So I'm going to do that all around then. Turn it yellow. So S to pick that color. Yeah, that doesn't help me. There, I cut a little bit, but Control Z. Now, why didn't it give me yellow? There. Okay, there it is. Plain wing, bear claw. Now, when it renders, even if I gave it the yellow color, when you render it, it would get all of the shadows and everything that go with the rest of it. You don't see it right now because I just have a complete environment that's just casting light on it. Matter of fact, if I go Shift F3 and then I go into the world here, and then Shift F5. I might see more of what would be correct. And that's looking better. I'm not going to paint anymore. This is what I wanted. It looks like there's mountains and mountains of bear over there, just as simply bear claw. I could put an outline on the bear claw. I could do that, put an outline on the bear claw. And now I'm just going to focus on this. So I'm going to take that color right there and then draw it over this right here. And what I can do is go object mode, and then I chose the bear claw itself. I don't need to render it, but I chose the bear claw itself, and went texture paint, right? And so I'm on the same, I want to make sure I'm on the same layer, layer 15. Then I'm going to paint. I'm going to grab that color, and then paint on this. Oh, I need to hit E and then go to space. It's going over the yellow here for some reason. Yeah, because the yellow that I drew in cut into it a little bit. So there. Let's hit one. Let's go back to the object mode, hit 1 and 7, see what I just did. So I cut into a little bit into this, but this is not mapped, or it's not showing, so that's not a problem. And I am thinking right now if I want to make this any smaller, so it looks like it's also a sticker on there. It says plain win, and do I want to add anything to this? That's fine. Meaning, what if I do this? Oh. I'm making sure I'm on the top view. There. And I just select this one. I'm on layer 15. And no, I want this color right here. I'm going to do the same thing that I just did over here, which is add, nope. Some of that, like that. I just gotta be careful not to overspill that a little bit too much. Paint that there. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the square. And I think I will do what I did to the other ones. I'll just make the square smaller. And I want to, by hitting E, I want to choose line, and then start, Alt, all the way down. And maybe on this side right here. Oh. There. And there. Do a little cleanup there. Hit E, go back to space. I'm going to use this to clean up all the edges. hit E, go back to the line, and here, draw it over like that. Control save. To save all images. So what I wanted, no, I can check real quick just to see how that looks. There. So it just gives a little visual clutter. For some reason I'm seeing a little a problem where I'm seeing where there's a problem with the meshes, or something's not quite working out. That may have to do with maybe some normals, and that's exactly what it is. When I flip these, when I was modeling, I never fixed the normals, and I'll do that. I can do that. Those are just going to have a straight color anyways. So I'm going to color some of these panels a little bit different, and then obviously these things are going to, the trap opening and something, going to have slightly different colors. All right. So that looks good. And obviously the wheels and everything is going to change slightly. But those are just going to be materials that are going to be determined by the material editor over here. All right, so here I got to say $1 to win, just to end it, right? So go back to the top, Control save in here, probably say $1 to end it, go to the object mode, turn on the objects that I'm looking at. Maybe turn off the emitter for a second. So there. Maybe I'll just say $1 to win. That's what I'm going to write. That's the one. Ugh, that's an ugly one. I'll stick with it. Shift duplicate X. You know what? I don't like that one. I'm going to change the font. I'm just going to turn it off and go open. Maybe try that one. That looks like it's... so this one is called agency. So take these and choose agency. Grab X. So that one is a little scale Y, little, big. Shift duplicate to win. Maybe I can keep them like that, but all I'll do is change the line spacing to where they're really close, scale them down, grab and scale. All right, turn on my canvas emitter once again. And then grab these and put them somewhere in here. There's still in the future, I have to put the button says push to win. And I won't do that now. I'd have to map it right in here, and it's a different color. So I think that this texture works for what I have right now. And then on my own, without recording it, I'll do a similar process just to create the button that says push to win. All right, Control save. $1 to win, that works for me. Alt A. What I need, this is it. This is the finished product here. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I think this is the finished product. Control save, F12. Look at the compositing and see what happens here. There it is. Now I'm going to go to the touch up, hit this, the viewer, image, save as, and bear claw texture. I wonder, should I overwrite that? I'll just give it no to for now, just to be safe. Save, control save. So that's it for this session with 283 using my little painter template. Control save. I'm gonna hit. I have to be in the texture paint to use my quick favorites to save all images. There's in the touch-up I can go image, save all images. There's that option there, but I'm making sure that all the images are saved so that I don't lose anything that is internally packed into the Blender file. And then obviously when I save it, it's fine. File, quit. Now I'm back over here. So this is 290. I had it open. I worked with both of them open. And in 290, this one already has a material. I can go into the shading tab. And if I were to then take that one, and here Teddy Bear PNG is the one that I did, but I'm going to hit open. And actually, I should move it. I'm going to move it up here from the painter. The bear claw texture, I'm going to copy it, and on the bear claw machine textures I'm going to paste. So there, I pasted it. So now if I look in here, I'll see it, I'll find it here. It's called O2. I'll leave it like that for now. And so that is the finished product for the textures, with the exception that this is not right. So now what I have to do is $1 to win. I can change these materials here. I'm at 1:17. Most of my previous videos were already 2 hours long, and but it's already getting late. It's already 7 o'clock, so I'm going to call it after this. I wasn't planning on assigning materials, but at this point in time, at least with a simple texture, I already have something that's looking more like the machine, you know, a little claw machine. So to fix this, I'm going to go to the UV editing, and here I'm going to deselect everything on this window here, use my circle select and select all of the faces that are using that texture on this side that is wrong, and then here, making sure that I'm off the medium point, I'm going to mirror them. So go Control M in the X. Oops, it should have been right about the center, and I can't understand why I did that. So I'm going to go, I canceled that option and then got Scale X -1. Did the same thing. I was hoping that it would work on the about its center, but it didn't. But that's fine. I can just go back over here, grab in the X, and then superimpose it to the other one. And there. So they're very closely superimposed. And now the machine is bear claw on this side, bear claw, play to win. And then it's got to get stuffed with teddy bears. The unfortunate thing is I have to make teddy bears to fill in there, right? In my machine, my bear claw machine. All right. I think I'm going to cut it there. Next video, just for the sake of having a finished product, I may then go to the actual rendering option to this. Actually looking at a rendering. I don't want to, I mean, I can model teddy bears. I don't think that's hard to model a teddy bear. That's just going to, just be, there's going to be some in there just to make it look right. Like it's a machine, but not in the recordings, I guess, is what I'm saying. All right, so this is the machine as it looks right now. I'm going to end it with this right here. Put the cursor somewhere over here. I forgot. How do you get rid of that? Where you say scene world? No. That's because scene world also has this one. So world opacity. There. I'm going to end it with this. So that's the process for creating a world of teddy bears as far as the eye can see, is where you have that one bear claw Play-Doh in. Using Blender. All right, thank you for watching. And the next video, I do plan, just to get to a finished product, put the materials, the correct materials that go with all of these, and maybe get to a rendered condition. Okay, thank you for watching and goodbye.